Hi, my name is Bear, and let's start with Return to Nangrim. This is a dark, first-person fantasy adventure with survival and RPG elements embedded in an epic dwarven lore. You will go on an adventure and unveil the mysteries and legends about Stonebeards, the once glorious and powerful dwarven family. Explore epic locations and unveil their secrets. Collect, combine and craft items and interact with the environment to progress. In Return to Nangrim, your torch is essential. It is not only a flame to light your way, but also your primary weapon of defense. Keep it close when the darkness closes in, because you know, the enemy of darkness is light, just like the enemy of virginity is alcohol of any kind. Then you will have to decide, hammer or axe. Both are unmerciful tools against the evil forces, one chops and another flattens, I guess. You will have to forge and upgrade them to unlock full potential and, you know, flatten zombies like a combat god.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah, did I just forget to mention zombies? Well, there are tons of them. Your whole mountain is infested. Game will also feature procedural elements that will guarantee a different gaming experience for every player. Stormrite. This is an open-world action RPG set in a dark, fantasy medieval kingdom of Redreach. You will play the role of a young squire exploring a world full of chaos. You will be able to become an expert assassin, learn the arts of dark magic, or lead your armies into a large-scale war against those who put pineapple in their potato salad.
Blasphemy!
Game has multiple endings to all questlines, and a rich character tree to decide how you interact with the environment and its inhabitants. So, long story short, there was a powerful evil dude who did evil things and then he disappeared, just like that. For years, scientists of Redreach attempted to gain some insight into where this being's immense power came from. These studies led to the discovery of the Stormrites, a series of powerful scrolls that in the wrong hands could lead to the end of all life as we know it. So, if you were skeptical about this game's similarity to Skyrim, there you go. They literally ripped off the actual Elder Scrolls in this game, just gave them another name. Avowed. One of the most known titles in this list, but it's a bit concerning that we haven't heard anything new about it in several months. Not like Obsidian stopped the creation of the game or something, oh no, the game will happen without a doubt, but it seems that the release date will be more likely in 2023 rather than in 2022. Also, if you are excited about this first-person gameplay and graphics, I have to let you down. It's all CGI, not the engine of the game, sadly. But if this is the inspiration for the real deal, I'm all ears and eyes and pee-pee. So Avowed will be the first-person RPG set in a fantasy world of Eora, which is the world of Pillars of Eternity, created by the same company. They have the lore, they have already released games like Fallout New Vegas and The Outer Worlds, so the experience creator revealed in this development is huge. The question is, will they create a massive RPG like Skyrim, or will it be a smaller version of the game? Like, you know, The Outer Worlds was not as big as Fallout 4, for example, so it was a hit, but it will never be as legendary. And we need legends. It's been a while. Gothic 1 Remake. For those of you who are old enough and have played Gothic 1 when it was released in 2001, this may be one of the most awaited games in this list. Gothic was and still is one of the first trailblazers of the 3D open world RPG genre. Just imagine that the famous Elder Scrolls Morrowind was released 1 year after the initial Gothic release. So here you will return to the mining colony and rediscover its secrets and challenges. You will play as the nameless hero and manage the fate of a lifetime convicted prisoner who must survive in a world full of animals, creatures, and convicts of dangerous reputation. If you own at least one Gothic game, or at least one other game made by Piranha Bytes developer, you will find a playable demo version of this remake in your Steam library. With it, you can experience a 2-hour-long introduction to the colony, or more like, you know, 2-hour-long torture, because this demo is really bad. For example, it seems like cutscenes litter this game every 30 seconds. That is really bad, because I wanted to play the game, not to watch it.
That's not the worst part.
Yeah, sadly not. It has a terrible combat system, unskippable dialogues, invisible walls, a stamina bar, terrible camera position, and several thousands of other more or less terrible decisions. So in my opinion, if you want this game to be at least 6 vodkas out of 10 after the release, you must probably restart all the development from scratch, otherwise Gothic Remake will be a massive flop. Trail of Ayash. It's an open-world game focused on the indigenous people of America, their struggles and their stories in pre-Columbian era. You will embark on an adventure in a land dominated by myths and legends. Here tribes engage in diplomacy, expansion and war. That alone can make for a compelling gaming experience, but there is something more. Something much darker that lurks in the forest and wilderness. In the corner of your eye you can see that you are not alone in these woods. Here live monsters from the creepiest legends you have never heard. And this video is sponsored by me! I present you with the best superhero nobody asked for. A brave and wise potato salad man equipped with his marinated herring, a rocketing bottle of vodka, and of course his delicious potato salad.
Are you ready for the perfect amount of mayonnaise anywhere you go?
The t-shirt is limited edition. It will be available from now until 8th of December and then never again. Everyone who will buy the shirt and send me a photo of themselves wearing it, I will feature in my videos. Your awesomeness will be seen by thousands. You will find the link in the description below. So to survive alongside your fellow tribals, you will have to battle the stuff of nightmares. Creatures born from the minds of men and spirits that terrify the souls are talked about in hushed voices around campfires by storytellers and shamans. Sometimes those stories are just stories, and sometimes you wish they were not real, but they are very real. You can already try a free demo version on Steam. Ardenfall. From all indie titles I have found while making this list, Ardenfall looks like most promising one, or, you know, least shitty one. That is, if you can play games with graphics like that, but, you know, the more I look, the more I like it. Ardenfall is a choice-based RPG with a world of devious politics and ancient cultures. Here you can join a powerful guild and work your way up from nobody to a legend, just like in Elder Scrolls games, and explore a varied world of interesting monsters and locations. Here you will explore dungeons, caves and tunnels for loot and secrets, slay interesting and boring monsters, and, as I have mentioned, will join one of the several joinable factions. And if you are feeling bloodthirsty, know that every NPC in Ardenfall can be killed, even ones that are part of the quests, so you can literally break your game if you want. Knights and Outlaws. This is a story-driven RPG adventure where you will take on the role of a simple peasant who has a chance to change his destiny. Plant carrots and not potatoes! And by carrots, I mean not carrots. Every choice brings you closer to becoming a respected and glorious knight or a despised and fearsome outlaw. Fight for honor and save the innocent, or steal from the poor and give everything to the rich, or something like that. Here you will find a challenging combat system where you will have to outsmart your enemy, find his weak spots and exploit them. This is especially important when fighting duels with other knights. You can defeat them honorably or cheat, you know, by kicking them to their tiny balls. Because why do you need a sword so big if you're feeling secure down there, huh? That's probably why all Japanese anime men who look like women have oversized weapons. Did I just crack the anime secret by pure accident? Oh my! So Knights and Outlaws will offer you various equipment, which you can buy or steal. Interesting character development skills and perks await you as well. Story is non-linear. You can solve tasks in multiple ways, facing the consequences of your decisions. And I especially like the first-person view. I put some third-person ones to this list as well because they are great games and have a lot of common traits with Skyrim, but the first-person view, at least for me, it's the most important thing the game could have. Well, maybe after boobs. That's why Witcher 3 was so great. The Wayward Realms. This is one of the titles I'm really excited for because of the developers involved. It's directed by two guys who were in charge of a team behind the Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall. The Wayward Realms is an open-world fantasy RPG where choice, consequence, scope and role-playing will be experienced in a realistically scaled world in a new class of game, the Grand RPG. Not much of actual gameplay is available yet, none to be fair, but I will show you some screenshots of it, don't worry. Game is set on a group of over 100 realistically scaled islands known collectively as the Archipelago, where scores of factions vie for influence and power. Developers say that the world will be way bigger than most other games you can think of. Big cities with hundreds of thousands of NPCs, deep, dark, dangerous forests, mountain ranges, sprawling swamps and marshland, and vast oceans brought to life by dynamic procedural generation. On your quest for fame and fortune, you will have to venture through strange lands, delve into 4 bonding dungeons, and traverse kingdoms full of humans, elves, orcs, dwarves, and few other unusual races. Crimson Desert. Game looks like Skyrim and Witcher 3 had a fancy baby. I don't know if fancy babies exist, but if they do, they look like this and not like usual babies, you know, full of shit inside and out. The action of Crimson Desert revolves in Pywell, a world which was developed using the latest graphic technologies. Here you will take on the role of a mercenary named Macduff, who together with his companions will try to survive in this dangerous land. This is kinda weird because the game is an MMORPG, but you can also play alone as well. So I can only guess that you will play as Macduff guy in single player, and in the MMO part of a game you can create your own character. I don't know, this is just a wild guess, just logic. I may be wrong, but we can't all be Macduff either, right? That makes no sense. Imagine if Witcher 3 was an MMO and we were all Geralts, just with different haircuts and beards and pee-pee sizes. Crimson Desert originally was planned to be released in 2021, but pandemic altered the plans, so now it will probably show up in 2022. No guarantees, there is nothing official about it as for now. The game looks great, and if it plays great, it can be a real rival to Amazon's New World and other upcoming MMOs. Planets, the whole game will be 12 times the size of Skyrim. It's really hard to imagine this scale on a new game and not on something that has been alive for years and years. You know, like World of Warcraft with countless expansions and so on. For me, it's the game I wait for the most, but in the past I've said that about Cyberpunk 2077 as well, and I played for 8 hours before quitting. So I hope that this time the game really will be awesome, and also I do really hope that we could have our own spaceship that can actually fly instead of animation of it flying like we saw in the Outer Worlds. And the last upcoming game like Skyrim is Skyrim Remastered Definitive Century Edition of Editions. I have no idea when it will be released, but believe me, it will be. And now, thank you for watching. Don't forget to acquire your very own Potato Salad Man t-shirt. And now, have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.